position. So, Ord, if you would not mind, sir.
Certainly, starting in the upper left-hand corner of our screen in the light blue, it is our player who's currently down 0-2. It is from VP BenQ, Slivko.
Whoa, that got like all Slender Man creepy at the end there. His opponent in the lower right, none other than the well-known, the Blue Terran. It is Acer's MMA. Mama.
And please let everyone know, because if this is the last game, we don't want them to miss getting to see some MMA. Oh yeah, there's
yeah. If you guys missed any of the games here today too, by the way, we cast a lot of matches for ZOTAC. They'll all be available here on Twitch. We will also be uploading some to YouTube, whichever is more convenient to you. You can always check them out. Our YouTube, of course, is youtube.com/mapcontrolco. But one thing I want to point out is some people that aren't aware of this, Star Station was recently changed to be cross only. Now I'm not sure if that applies to the latter version. I know the WCS was updated. ESL's had this forever. So both of these players, if they're up to date and in the know, they should have good ideas of where the other spawned, because Star Station is one of those maps where cross spawn versus horizontal versus vertical spawn really makes a big deal when it comes to your build order and game plan.
It really does. It allows you to get away with that type of hatch first, command center first. MMA's been doing that anyway. Looks like he's going to continue. SCV already going down to the low ground. It's a nice little choke point though, so it's easy enough to protect. He does go with that. Honestly, I want Slivko to just take this third base like it's Wings of Liberty. And take it before the 3rd minute. Go for it. Come on, man. Spawning pool is the choice.
Well, this map is not a fun map for 3 bases. It's no matter which one you take, it's going to be exposed. You can go to the right and have the advantage of the watchtower, but you got these giant ass ramps plus drop potential. You go to the 3rd in the close spawn location. Okay, it's a little bit easier to defend, but again, huge open areas where multiple hits can come in. And MMA is, as we've seen, someone who will take advantage of any terrain, no matter what or how he will. The tanks, the Marines, he's just done such a great job this entire series thus far. But again, I am channeling all my negative energy to MMA. I want him to lose, guys, because I want to see more of him, as weird as that is to say.
Lose so I can see more of your beautifulness. Command center, barracks on the way. Riff, right now, I feel very, very excited. This is like...
Or are your pants getting tighter on you? Because if they are, you might need to call a doctor. This
okay.
is... I love StarCraft too, but maybe not that much. No, I'm sorry. Anyways.
Was it a match to the back of the hand or something? All right,
yeah,
bunker.
Just think about sports. Think about esports. Oh wait, that's the problem. Shoot. No, we got the bunker coming up. MMA again playing very safe with his openings. Does not want to be caught off guard by shenanigans. Like, I doubt he would have, but if Slivko had gone for a 10 pool, you know, with going for command center first, it leaves that hole of the supply depot. Could have gotten in the base, maybe done some funky stuff. So the bunker is just put down to really try and help make up for that small inconsistency with buildings.
Yeah, and as per typical at this point, the factory, no big surprise from MMA of all people who made it popular way back when. He's also going to complete that nice little partial wall-off factory, Hellions, more than likely. And actually, Slivko, okay, finally now moving with some of his overlords. I thought for a moment there he was not going to scout out and he was just going to keep them spotting for drops that are inevitable.
Oh. Yep, sorry, didn't mean to leave you hanging, just coughing up my left lung as usual, but...
You don't need that.
Hellions most likely coming out, although MMA has been utilizing wood mines pretty sneakily, especially in that last game with that drop. We don't have a drop potential coming up, but we do have, once again, early Roach Warren, which is pretty okay, because while I would not like to see Slivko dedicate to a failed attack, he will be able to deal with any Hellion aggression with his roaches.
True enough. Third base is going down for Slivko in that kind of forward location that's awkward to hold, especially as Zerg. Third command center also on the way for MMA. I think that these roaches, even though he's going for the roach horn right now, I'd be really surprised if he does anything aggressive with it.
Well, that's what I was saying. I really don't want to see him, because last time was just an absolutely failed attack, and it wasn't by anything that he had done wrong or anything that MMA did right. It's just you can't slam into a wall like that. And Hellions are kind of revealed, so... I mean, a couple of roaches at home, a couple of queens, he'll hold against any amount of Hellions, but Zerglings do scout that wall off, and yeah, it's kind of limits of what Slivko can do for the time being. It's really, he's just got to like, I feel that if he really wants to take MMA on, he's just got to out macro the heck out of him. The micro from MMA, superb. We saw the splits, we saw the siege tanks focus down the banelings. You know, if you can't win with 30 banelings, just make 60 and throw them at him. And then make 60 more. Just go with the macro and hope that it wins you the game.
Yeah, MMA actually committing a little bit more to the Hellions than we've seen him do previously. Makes 6 in the end, gets a little creep tumor kill, which is exactly what they're for right now. They want to contain the creep spread. They want to harass, maybe kill that queen who's out in the forward position. Roaches force them back. This third base semi-safe at this point. Still a lot of area, though, for the Hellions to take advantage of.
Yeah, with 6 roaming in the field, you suddenly become, like, there's this funny difference between 4 and 6 Hellions where they go from being, alright, whatever, to a big threat. Because 6 Hellions can take on a queen quite effectively, they can start sniping off whatever they need to do, and actually there's no wall off for anything, so if he just hugs the right and goes straight up, he could actually get into the middle line pretty easily, but instead going to try and fry some Zerglings in the middle of the map. Has to be careful of these roaches, of course.
Ooh. Just tickling them back and forth, back and forth. Nice control out of Slivko, who's not letting his Zerglings overcommit. He's just keeping them as protection right now. Also has that Baneling Nest just finishing up, now getting Lil Reconstitution, centrifugal hooks, everything that he needs. But MMA, meanwhile, is getting that +1/+1 and stim. Oh, he's going to be following this up. I'm nervous for Slivko right now, Riff.
Yeah, I don't know. Or this is just one of those games where, again, you're letting MMA sit back. You're letting a Terran player macro up. Again, it's not just a Terran player. It's MMA.
He's done no aggression so far. We have the Overseer on the way. The Orbital Command at the third base location completed. We have bunkers, nothing in them, but they're available and ready. And now finally we do have Slivko pushing 40. Does have a 40 supply lead, but it just doesn't feel that way to me. The army supply, though, hugely in Slivko's favor, 74-35.
You know, players like Yun, they just brute force their way in. They do a lot of damage, but oh my goodness, actually getting caught here. He wants to get a lot more banelings out for absolute sure, but he can't if these roaches aren't in position to guard.
And they finally do get in the way. Looks like 16 banelings in total.
But look at the bunker spread. This almost feels like that bunker mining video I made. I mean, he's just got a lot of bunkers all over the place, and getting past them will not be an easy task.
Oh, here we come with the preconceived concave. The Hellions are able to do a decent amount of damage against the Zerglings. There's still a lot of banelings
We'll just
left.
turn around and go for the main. Not even going to focus in the natural, ignoring the ramp. Notice that there's no wall there. Some of the Marauders are actually blocking a lot of the banelings. They need to connect to these Marines, and so desperately badly.
Oh, and so many of the banelings actually dying there at the last second. MMA actually picks up the leftover Marines.
But Slivko is focusing the reactors and the add-ons, which isn't bad, but really send a couple roaches, just 3 splinter off, go for the naturals, go for the main, go for the mineral lines. Picking off a barracks, go for the infrastructure. Of course, the infrastructure is always the weakest part of a Terran composition, but he's going to pick up a lot of SCVs. But there's more than enough Marines to hold this. However, the reinforcements streaming across the field, more banelings on the way.
36 more Zerglings on the way, as well as a couple of roaches. These roaches they're engaging directly with MMA's force. I don't know that I like that. I wish they had picked off like every single add-on. That would have been fantastic.
But we've got a Hyun amount of banelings currently morphing in.
That is a StarCraft measurement, and
it
here
is.
they come. Zerglings first. The stim goes down. Nice little split. The bunker's still being
Bunker's
there.
actually absorbing a lot of the baneling hits. Widowmine is not actually hitting most of these banelings, sadly.
Oh,
and a lot of the SCVs getting caught here. But nice pickup on that dropship. Saving a large amount of those SCVs. How many were killed? 24 through that. Resources lost. Looking not too good for Slivko, but he may have picked off enough workers to at least stint the production of our Terran player. Because let's not forget, he got a lot of those tech labs. A lot of the reactors went down as well.
Slivko still pushing the advantage here. Has more banelings, has more Zerglings trying to attack.
Relentlessly flooding across the field, but he's moving into the bunker. He needs to kill something or regroup.
Yeah, He's just moving back and forth there. Lost a lot of banelings without doing much damage, and has some overlords that got misrallied that thought they were part of the attacking force.
Losing the overlord's quite harsh indeed, but has an overseer with this, so we can start looking for those widow mines. But again, more banelings on the way, but he might not have enough this time is the big problem.
So many bunkers. This feels like Dragon almost. There's bunkers everywhere. And MMA would be so pissed if you heard me
Well,
say that.
MMA is kind of a realistic dragon, not the player, but like the figurative mythical beast. So rarely seen and so scary and deadly when he appears. But all right, second, third, fourth push coming out of Slivko here.
The boost there on the Medivacs and everything coming back towards the bunkers.
Oh,
Bunkers
but
are
the
going
Banelings
down,
get melted
but there's
before they
still
connect.
Marines left.
The problem is Slivko keeps going in with too few Banelings. The focus fire on MMA is immaculate. These roaches will take out these Marines, but the Woodmine's burrowing. Oh, do a bunch of damage, and of course they will just retreat to the bunkers.
Again and again, back to the bunkers, back to the bunkers,
But
back to the
Slivko,
bastions.
we've been so focused here, I want to point out he double expanded behind this, a really bold move, because he knows MMA's on the defensive. He can't really afford to go out and drop. There's a drop moving out, but it's only going to be very limited on what it can do. Those Marines are so necessary for home, and nice snipe of those changelings.
Griff, why doesn't he have an overlord over there? He really should. I think he probably did earlier and rallied it down and ended up dying earlier in combat. He's not going to have any idea that this drop is coming in, actually. Luckily, he doesn't have any drones.
Should have scouted it now, though. The hatchery did have vision.
Yeah.
But nothing responding in time.
Oh,
Only
an
a queen to
infestation pit
defend.
2 is just ripe for the picking, and the
big
attack
push.
goes down again.
But there's not enough Banelings. Same problem every single time. Slivko going in with just not enough units. You have to overwhelm your opponent. It's not enough to match him head on. And, well, the natural, it's been evacuated, but unfortunately this is where the lair is. So it's going to be really harsh if he loses. Infestation pit also being poked down. Does not even get canceled.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at +1 defense for our Zerg player, Zerg Carapace, while 2-2 is up already, +3, halfway done for MMA.
Those upgrades are making such a big deal with this game as he is just slaughtering Slivko every engagement. Slivko's got to find a way to catch up.
He really does. He had that 4th and 5th base set up. That was a bold gamble. That was perhaps a fantastic thing for him, but never mind, a thing out of it. Use some of the larva, not all of it though. He's only at, well, rather he is at 700 minerals, but he can't produce any more units. Got 14 Banelings on the way to try and protect himself, but MMA smells blood.
No, MMA smells blood, and he's going to capitalize on it. Pouncing on these Zerglings are those One-Eyes Roaches coming in from behind.
Oh, he's got to pick up. Oh,
Some beautiful Baneling connections, though, but there's still so many Medivacs alive, and they're all so low, actually.
Held together by duct tape and hope.
Pretty much. Big drop going to come down and clear out these drones, no problemo. Meanwhile, in the main, another drop going off, driving Slivko all over the place. And this is when you start to see a Zerg player panic. Will Slivko cave to the crash? Pressure is a big question, as he's being run ragged left, right, trying to deal with these drops, constantly in the main, constantly in the natural.
Yeah, so much dying there at the third base that really didn't need to, and now
this is
he's
such
able to put
abusive
stuff.
pickup and drops. And of course, he can't reach the mineral lines.
And Slivko's got his entire army on the one command key. He's moving the whole thing back and forth. Finally, the reinforcements are able to clean up. And will he stabilize?
A small nod I want to point out to Masan, who did point out the issue of those drops, picking up and dropping last night when we were casting on this same scenario. But big engagement in the middle of the map. Unfortunately, nice splitting will avoid most of these Baneling hits, but there's still a lot of roaches. But the Marauders might just be enough. Unfortunately, there are no Medivacs here just yet. GG out of Slivko. And ladies and gentlemen, MMA winning his very first ZOTAC Cup. You were here to witness it. You were here first for it. And MMA hopefully will partake in more of these as he's in Europe now, in Germany. So congratulations to him. Congratulations, sir.